why has Chanel decided to have a price increase that big, that huge in the middle of a global pandemic. Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel, to my little corner of the internet here where we talk about luxury designer handbags. So I thought it's necessary to do a little follow-up video on my Chanel price increase May 2020 video that came out like a week ago. So it was quite a debate, let's say, and I think it was a necessary debate, a necessary discussion nonetheless. But yeah, I mean, certain news have surfaced over the past week, and I thought it's definitely important to do a little follow-up video on that. So if you haven't seen the previous video yet, please go and check that one out first and then come back and let's have another little discussion. First of all, we do have some more exact numbers that we can include in this video. When I filmed the other one, there was not a lot information out there. Okay, so first of all, before we go into this topic, I have to clarify that this is only based on EU prices. So we still haven't seen any UK prices and we still haven't seen any US prices either. So I think we still have to wait a week or two longer to actually get a clearer image of what's going on and how each and every individual country has been affected by the price increase. But what we know for sure now is that if we look at the Eurozone, boy bags have gone up by 4 to 5%, classics by 14 to 25%, and we get into details, and the reissue by 17 to 21%. Well, what does this information tell us? So first of all, it tells us which Chanel bags are very much in demand and which ones are not. So the Chanel boy bag does belong to the classic. It came out in 2012. Everybody loved it. It was this more kind of edgy style that Chanel brought out at the time that nobody was used to. So a lot of people really fell in love with the Chanel boy bag. It's been a classic since, and people do still buy it, and that's why it's included in this price increase as well. However, to see an increase of 4 to 5% is, I think, the average we would see with no matter what price increase in the past, if we talk about 1st of November price increases. So it's completely natural for a business to do price increases, for a luxury business to do price increases within this range of 4 to 5%. Even 5 to 7% is absolutely normal. And we get into that because Louis Vuitton has actually had a price increase as well earlier this month, but it was more of a natural one, you know. Of course, all luxury brands do have to raise their prices, and most of the big houses, the big fashion houses, they actually do it once a year. Chanel, I mean, is famous for doing it twice. The only question that remains is why in the middle of a global pandemic, but yeah, we get into this later. If we look at the reissue and the classic flaps, they have gone up 14 to 25%. Reissues especially 17 to 21%. So the reissue has always been a very difficult item to place because it is not as highly in demand as the classic flaps. However, it is a symbol for the brand itself. It is an iconic bag Karl Lagerfeld has brought back. This was the original classic flap bag that Coco Chanel brought out in the 1950s, but it's never been as loved as the Chanel classic flap bag with the CC sign is that Karl Lagerfeld has designed. So why has the reissue seen such a big price increase? I mean, I can only guess. It is like the symbol of the brand, and the reissue has actually always been the most expensive bag of all Chanel bags in terms of classics, and yeah, I guess they just want to keep that level high up. But yeah, the price increases for the classic flaps have varied. So the jumbo has gone up by 15%, which is a big price jump. We are at £6,000 now, and the mini square has gone up by 25%. So that's the biggest jump for a Chanel bag in the history of Chanel price increases. The Chanel Maxi, for example, has reached €7,100 now, and we are therefore in the Hermès, Birkin and Kelly territory. But yeah, I've said it in my last video, I don't think if I'm going to spend my next 6k on a bag, or 7k if we talk in terms of euro, it wouldn't be Chanel anymore. I would definitely go down the pre-loved route and try and find a beautiful vintage or pre-loved Birkin or Kelly, but that's another topic. So let's look at the facts for today. So it is normal, especially for the mother triangle, Hermès, Chanel and Louis Vuitton, to keep their prices up, to raise them every single year, just so their items don't lose their investment value. I mean, a lot of people, me included, they are buying luxury designer handbags in terms of investment purposes as well. And if there are still people out there who don't believe me that bags are investment pieces, then go and look up the Financial Times article that's come out, I don't know, was it 2-3 years ago or something like that, that has actually stated that handbags, well, the right handbags are a better investment than gold. So yeah, if you're interested, I'm trying to find that article. I'm going to link it down below in the description box. Yeah, so the big question why this last video that I posted put out such a debate was, why has Chanel decided to have a price increase that big, that huge, in the middle of a global pandemic? And everybody, I think, almost everybody, there are always of course some people, but almost everybody has agreed that it is quite distasteful, and it really feels like Chanel is out of touch with the current situation, with what's going on in the world. And I think that sparked this whole discussion about what's right and what's wrong, and you know, how are we as customers, as consumers, looking at that situation, and what are our decisions going to be. So like I said, Louis Vuitton has done the same. However, it has not sparked this kind of anger, I think, within the luxury community, simply because we're all used to price increases. But to see this huge jump that Chanel has decided to go for in the middle of this pandemic, I think that was the last drop that really sparked this anger and this lack of understanding in people, and I can completely understand that. I was looking into the legal side of the whole thing. So what I found out, and I can only speak for the UK here because I haven't done any research on any other countries, but we know that Chanel has removed all their pricing, right? I checked the US website, the UK website and the German website for, well, the last week, more than the last week, 1.5 weeks since my SA told me about these news. And Chanel has removed all their pricing. They haven't removed it from shoes and SLGs, they are still there, which I guess tells us that those items won't see a price increase, but all the prices from their bags have been basically removed. And in the UK at least, and that's all I can say, if you have a brand and you have a website and you put items and products out there, you are required by law to actually show the prices. To remove that now is something that hasn't happened before. So I was thinking in my head, yeah, it is a very special time. You could say it's a very quiet time to do that at the moment. And I was thinking maybe Chanel just hopes deep down that we all come out of this lockdown and everybody, you know, in the luxury community is ready to get their fix and they go to the boutiques and nobody might notice maybe, you know, that they've raised the prices so immensely, which is of course ridiculous, because anyone who's interested in Chanel will know at least like a rough idea of what the bags did cost before the lockdown. But who knows, you know, maybe, and that's another topic we're gonna talk about later, maybe they are trying to shape a new client, a new customer. Maybe they want to focus on a new demographic that is really not looking at, you know, the exact amount of money they spend in a shop like Chanel. So what I was thinking is, there was this really interesting article a couple weeks ago, and I will also try and find it and link it below in the description box, about the first Hermès boutique in China. I can't remember in which city it was, Shanghai, Beijing, I don't know, I have to look it up. But this boutique has reopened after a month-long lockdown, and what basically happened is, within one day, this one boutique only has seen profits of more than 2.7 million US dollar. You know, of course Hermès is Hermès, it's a different story. I mean, this whole price increase also sparked a different debate in terms of quality issues. Chanel is far from Hermès quality. I'm a reseller myself, I've sold many Birkins and Kellys in the past, and yes, you can see, you can feel a huge difference. Chanel bags are far from Hermès bags, and you know, if Chanel now has decided to enter this territory of Hermès pricing, what more do we get? Do we get better materials? Do we get better craftsmanship? We don't get any of those. It's still the same product. Nothing has changed except for the price. So in my opinion, they cannot compare themselves with Hermès. They cannot climb, you know, onto that level of Hermès. just yet. There would have to be a lot of things that would have to be changed, that would have to be adjusted in terms of quality, but yeah, we're definitely not there yet. So is Chanel expecting maybe that people are gonna run into the boutiques and they're gonna see such a big profit as we did see in China in the Hermès boutique, and they just hope to recoup all their losses from the past couple of months by raising the prices and hoping people are not noticing, or people are not really, you know, caring. Hermès, of course, is basically picking and choosing whomever they want to carry their bags. You can have £10,000 and put it on their table, and if they don't like you or they don't think you're worth carrying one of their bags, then well, you won't get one. And it's this whole thing of like playing the Hermès game. And if you haven't seen my Back Talk Mondays #2 video, go and check that one out. I'm talking more about playing the Hermès game in there. But yeah, so it's definitely something we would have to take into consideration, that they might want to target a new demographic and well, exclude hardworking people who are actually doing something to be able to afford those bags. And maybe they just want the very privileged ones. It's a very elitist thought, but maybe they only want people who are born rich, and they're trying to exclude all of us. Because I think most of us, probably more than 90% I would even say, have to work really hard to be able to afford their products. And you know, I'm a big Chanel lover, I've said that before. I love Chanel, I love the brand. I really do not love what the current management team is doing, so we definitely have to separate this whole thing. But yeah, I mean, let's look at the facts. Chanel still doesn't have an online shop. Louis Vuitton or the other LVMH companies, they do. You can just go online, purchase the bag you want, if it's available obviously, and you get it delivered. And Chanel, even though within those 2 months of this crisis they've seen huge losses because they don't have that option, but I think they are still sticking to it, and they still do not want to open up an online store to still portray this image of exclusivity, and they don't want their brand to be more accessible to a wider demographic. They know exactly which client, which customer they want, and that's what they're focusing on. I'm so happy and thankful for all of you, all of my subscribers who've actually written me either on the comment section on the other video or via DM on Instagram. And yes, I do have an Instagram account now, so if you want to find me, please go and look for Romina Rose May. And I have gotten so many nice messages and so many sad messages as well, of people telling the exact same story, that their SA has been let go. There was a case in Hamburg in Germany, there was another case in England here, and there was another case in where was it? France, Belgium. But I've heard from 3 other different people that their SAs have been made redundant. And you're just wondering, why not take the government's funds to actually support your workers, and then once the whole pandemic is over, your great workers, you know, the ones that have been loyal to your brand for the past years, they can just come back and continue their work. And I was so sad when I heard from my SA that he was made redundant. And you know, it's a whole thing of, yeah, Chanel has definitely done a wrong thing at the wrong time. And like I said before, I've chosen not to support the current management team of Chanel anymore, and I will only continue to buy pre-loved and vintage Chanel bags, simply because the price is better, the quality is better. The quality of the vintage Chanel bags is so much better. I mean, look at lambskin bags, like lambskin classic flaps from like the 90s. They are in amazing condition. The lambskin was such high quality. If you buy a lambskin Chanel bag nowadays, it scratches up within a week. Just go to the pre-loved market and you're going to be able to find amazing pieces there. High quality, rare pieces, good prices, and you know, I think pre-loved is the way to go. There's also another big topic. A couple of years ago, Chanel has actually filed a lawsuit against the Real, which is a vintage and pre-loved reseller in New York. And I've been there several times. They are one of my favorite pre-loved sellers in New York. Whenever we're there, I'm, you know, always, you know, going to their shop, and they have a website as well, so you can just easily find them. And other boutiques, like what goes around comes around, Fashion Fire, Yogi's Closet, they have all, of course, I think, fear that they might get hit with the next lawsuit from Chanel. Luckily, the Real has, you know, kept their head up above the water, and everything is fine. They're still selling Chanel bags, but what Chanel actually was trying to do is stop people from selling their Chanel bags to resellers by saying all of those bags are inauthentic, and therefore trying to, you know, make this fear creep around the pre-loved luxury industry that, you know, you might buy a bag that's not real, and, you know, don't risk it, just go to the Chanel boutique and buy a new one. And so the Real is amazing. It's like Fashion File, it's like Yubi's Clothes. They are highly skilled in terms of authenticating bags. And I mean, human error can probably always happen. But you know, if you have like a 99.9% chance of like getting an authentic bag, then, and you have lifelong like guarantee of getting a refund if a bag actually turns out to be fake. But that's a completely different story, I know. The point I actually wanted to make is that Chanel actually tried to basically kill the pre-loved market. And I think it's absolutely ridiculous if you think about it. They are selling you, it's a brand that is selling you products, and they're trying to stop people from selling their products on again. You know, if you buy something, you own it. You can do with it whatever you want. You can gift it to someone, you can sell it on. And from Chanel, like, trying to stop this, it was a completely different story as well. But yeah, go and Google that. There are many great videos out there on this topic as well. And I think it's just a whole kind of move from Chanel that was planned over years and years and years to create this ideal customer, to make the brand so exclusive and make it less accessible to like the mass. So I think, yeah, I think it's a marketing strategy. At the end of the day, it's a business. Hermès is a business, Chanel is a business, and they have to make whatever they think is the best decision. We might not agree with what they do, but then it's still in our hands to decide. We're all smart people. We can still decide at the end of the day if we want to go and spend our money at that brand, at that boutique or whatever. So I think it's just good to be informed of what's going on. I think it's good to have a debate, to have a discussion. So I'm really happy to hear all of your comments again in the comment section. Of course, let's talk about what's going on in the luxury industry. Tell me what you think about Louis Vuitton's price increase. Tell me what you think about the whole Chanel thing. I know it has to be quite disheartening for a lot of people who are actually trying to get their foot into the door to buy their first Chanel bag. So I've got messages from people who are saying, you know, I'm just about to finish my bachelor's degree soon, and I really wanted to, you know, reward myself with buying my very first Chanel handbag, and I've saved for, you know, a couple of years throughout my entire studies, and now it's, you know, just being out of reach again. And I know we're talking first world problems, I know this is still luxury, so, you know, of course, I think we're all aware of that, but nevertheless, I mean, that's the topic we talk about, right? So I can only try to, you know, empathize with them, simply because I was a bachelor degree student and I was saving up for my first Chanel handbag. And once I received my bachelor's degree, I got my Chanel boy bag like 5 years ago. I've just given them the same advice I've just given all of you as well. Go towards the pre-loved market, you know, you're gonna find amazing bags there, rare bags. Even if you just want the classic in like black caviar with gold hardware, there are plenty of those bags out there, and you can pick and choose. You can then pick and choose the right bag for you. I think the pre-loved market is the future. Just take all of this into consideration and make your own, you know, your own decisions, of course, in terms of what you are going to do. But yeah, so like I said, I was very happy when I was reading all of your comments. And again, just let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope that you did enjoy this video. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. Join our little handbag obsessed family here. And yeah, because I think we all do have the same luxury disease. That's what brings us together. And yeah, I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye!